Security can also be in terms of transmission, storage and processing. It can also be because of human factors, policies and technology. So if any one dimension is not covered, the security would be broken or it can be compromised. But we will focus on this CIA triad only. What is our problem? Not only to talk about confidentiality, how to quantify confidentiality, how to quantify integrity and how to quantify availability. And most of all, do we have a tool or can we prepare a tool, can we develop a tool? It is able to measure in exact bits or any units that you talk about that what is the loss in confidentiality, how much secrecy has been lost, what is the attack on integrity, how to what extent it has been able to be successful. The motivation for this kind of study or the development is that we have qualitative analysis or we have qualitative definition of whether it is confidentiality or integrity or availability. If I ask any of you, you would fill 2-3 pages writing about the cases and writing about the definitions, right? But the thing is that it is unable to check the security policy against a threshold. As I discussed earlier, you can only say the system is secure or insecure, partly secure. But what is the part? Is it 30%? It is 20%? Is it 50%? How much is the security or how much is the insecurity? What we are going to discuss in this talk is how confidentiality, integrity and availability are related to each other. Although we talk of them as a different terms, but how are they related to each other? To set the scene, to let you understand in real life, I'll give you an example of dialing cryptographers anonymity protocol. How many of you know this protocol? Dialing cryptographer anonymity protocol. This is an anonymous protocol. Okay, I won't take your time. I'll tell you about this. This is a protocol in which cryptographers are sitting around a table, and there are two situations. They are having a dinner, and either of them have paid or NSA has paid. Now, the algorithm tells you who has paid, either NSA or one of them, but it does not tell you who has paid. It's only either NSA or this. So this is how it works. They are sitting around. They flip a coin. So this diner A can see 1, diner B can see 1, diner B and C can see this 1, and A and C can see this 0. What they'll do, in first situation, A has paid. So diner B will announce 1 XOR 1, that is 0, because he has not paid. Diner C will announce 1 XOR 0, that is 1. But since diner A has paid, he will announce one opposite of 1 XOR 0. So he will lie. And your answer is this XORed by this, XORed by this. And your answer is 1. 1 means somebody has paid from ABC. But you cannot tell who has paid, A or B or C. You can only say somebody from A, B or C paid. No. This is how we say NSA has paid, because 0 XORed with 1, XORed with 0, answer is 0, so 0 for NSA. Looks good? Now, other question is, what is the information leakage among secret input and public output? We have to define what are the inputs, are they secret or the public? What is the output? And what is the relation between them? What is the integrity loss in case of attacker controlled untrusted coin values? The coin, if you read the probability or go back to the probability question, an unbiased coin is flipped. You always use the unbiased coin. It's never said a coin is flipped. It's unbiased coin, right? Unbiased means which has a 50% chance of going to tails, going to heads. So if there is an intruder, if there is an internal attacker, we always talk of external attacker, right? What if one of ABC becomes internal attacker? What is the way? If he starts lying. If the coin is flipped as 1 and he notes as 0, what can you do? How to check that? Can we do that or not? Another is, what is the measure of availability? Availability is, again, You must have heard of over last 2 days DOS or DDoS. Did anybody tell you about denial of service attack? Right. So denial of service attack is basically attack on availability. Right? Although we will talk about it in a different perspective, that even if the service is running, can we make it unavailable? So confidentiality, again, it's all about mandatory access control. How much control can we have? It's basically 2 ways, that information should be given to the right people and information should not be given to the wrong people. It's and. If either of this is violated, then the confidentiality is gone. Okay, so coming back to this diagram, for the benefit of those who have joined in late, this is a diagram and we want to obscure the face in an image. And anybody knows what is this? And anybody from final year of MCA? Nobody. First year of MCA? With computer background? Anybody worked on Ubuntu? Anybody knows Ubuntu? Anybody knows Windows? Anybody knows Paint? Picture Manager? Come on guys, start using Ubuntu. I mean, I'm not saying don't use Windows. I'm saying start using Ubuntu. You should know, because it's an open source, it's a development platform. You cannot develop on Windows. You cannot have programming, Perl, Python, Ruby on Rails, whatever on Windows environment. So, ImageMagick is basically a software that is available in the Ubuntu. So using this, I can actually change the photos like this, so that the person cannot be identified. And I don't know, if I give these pictures to somebody, can we get my picture back? That is the question. Can we get my picture back, or not exactly up to a certain extent, so that I can be identified? Is it possible? Or how do I make sure that which one would be the best? So we will use the tools which will tell me how much information is being leaked. So this I have already talked about, so I'll skip because we don't have much time. Okay, so let's talk about entropy. If it is a 4-horse race, and if all 4 horses are equally likely to win, how many values do you need to store? 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0 and 1, 1. Can it do? How many bits are you storing? The probability that you will store is, so this P1 is probability distribution, 1 by 4 each. However, if you somehow got to know from the fixing channels which one of the two will win, what you will do now? You will assign 0 probability to 2. And now you will store only 2 values, 0 and 1. And now the entropy has come down to 1. Is there a confidentiality loss from first case to second? Which one is more secure? First one. Second one is not secure because the entropy is less. Third one. So 100% correct. If you know who will win, you still need to store 1 value. So do you need to store anything at all? In fact, it's the 0 bit, because 2 to the power 0 is 1. Right? Okay. So this is how we calculate the entropy using this Shannon's entropy formula. You must have heard about Shannon in networking books, right? When you calculate bandwidth of the channel, the Shannon's formula. Right? So it's pi log 2 pi. This is the entropy of. So you were able to calculate it, and now this is using the formula that I am telling you, it gives the same result. Just to prove your intuitions right. So entropy is information content of a situation or uncertainty about situation. More the uncertainty, more the security. So what can I do to attack a system? Somehow bring down its uncertainty. That's my goal. Okay. And if I bring down the security, so this is the entropy before I observe the output, and this is the entropy after I observe the output. And this is the mutual information that I have gained by doing this. If this is positive, my system has an information leakage. I've already talked about it, so I will just skip this formula. Another thing, it's better to have few large leaks than having many small leaks in a system. Okay, so coming back to the answer. Which one do you think is best? Now, first one? What about second one or third one? No, best in what case? It is secure or you can get it. Okay, using which one can you get the picture easily? Second one? Let's see. First one. So using, if I give you first one, you will get the picture back. Second is easy to retrieve back. Okay, so my question is now, which picture do you want to give me the original face? How many for A? How many for second? How many for third? Okay, now see the result. This one only reveals 1464 bits. Okay, this one reveals 1720 bits, and this one reveals 375120 bits. So the thing is, we would not know. So there must be an algorithm for this, there must be an algorithm for this, and there must be an algorithm for this. I've talked about the tool flowcheck. Using flowcheck, I can actually get these values. These are published values. So I know this is a very poor algorithm, although it looks fancy. Oh my God, it is totally swirled. So you just unswirl it. What's the big deal? Now, about integrity. What is the relation between these two? So, integrity is the system performing the way it was intended to perform, the correctness. If you ask a system a question and 5 out of 5 times, if it gives the same answer, it is fine. Because we are not talking whether it is giving the correct answer, we are talking whether it is giving the same answer. There is a difference between correct answer and same answer. So correctness of the system and correctness of the answer are two different things. If A plus B, if you have a C++ program, I give a value A and B, 5 and 3, and if it gives me value 9, it may be an incorrect answer, but if it gives me every time answer 9, it is, to me, the integrity of the system is intact. That means nobody has fiddled with that system. If next time I come and if it gives me A plus B equal to 8, I will know कोई आया था आपकी help करने के लिए, उसने आपका program ठीक किया है. So somebody has fiddled with the code because the answer has changed, right? So for this there is a BIBA integrity model, which is again just like Bell-LaPadula model. It is a qualitative model, and it is opposite to that. The most interesting part is there was no read down, there was no read up, and there was no read down, write down. It says read up and write down. I won't go into detail. I am giving you these questions for reading and for research purpose. If you want to know, how is it possible that in one policy somebody says no read up, no write down, and in second policy somebody says read up and write down, and both policies are for security and both are do different pillars of security? So how is it that? The question will be answered here. This is our integrity model. Earlier, if you remember, we had H in and L in. So secret and public. Now we are breaking our inputs into two different categories, trusted and untrusted. And our output is also trusted and untrusted. What is our research question? That this untrusted input should not reach trusted output. And at the same time, all of trusted input should be present in trusted output. If either of the policy is broken, the integrity is compromised. Am I clear? So, we can take an example to understand this. We can take an example of, let's say, this is a robot doing the judgment, okay, for a case, just like sitting like a judge. This is the evidence. These are the media reports. So a judgment should always be based purely on evidence. They should not be biased by media report. That's what we call media trial. हमारे यहाँ बहुत ज्यादा होता है? So if the judge is honest, और जिसको हम कहते हैं integrity, the character, the integrity of character is very strong, right? Correctness. Then the whole, every evidence should be taken into account for the judgment, and no part of media should use this T out. The judgment should not be influenced by media reports at all. So do you get the concept of integrity system? Now it's we call first thing, which actually this, if the untrusted input reaches output, contamination. You would understand it better if this is a pot, right? If this is a pot, white paint, and white paint from here and from here. What you should get is totally black paint from here and white paint from here. If I have supplied 2 liters of white paint, I should get 2 liters of white paint. That means a little bit of black paint has been mixed. That is contamination. And if I do not get 2 liters of white paint over here, that is suppression. So I have suppressed the trusted inputs. So these are the 2 measures using which we measure the integrity. And in suppression, the suppression can be either because of channel. So my program was working fine, but the channel which was carrying it had some fault in it, had some leakage. आपके घर पानी की पाइप आ रही है, किसी ने बीच में अपनी पाइप लगा ली, राइट? और आपके घर बिजली आ रही है, लोगों ने बिजली में वो तार लगा दी और आपके घर वोल्टेज कम हो गई. So those all are suppressions, right? And there can be another program suppression. How it is related with confidentiality? You see the same thing. We were talking about mutual information between trust. No, the previous one. Secret input and public output. So if you, so okay, tell me, out of these 2, which one would you treat as secret and which one is public? Trusted is secret? No. Untrusted is secret, because untrusted is by attacker. We do not know who the attacker is. So untrusted is secret. Trusted is public, because trusted input, I mean everybody knows the evidence. In any system, you have to treat this as public, because if somebody knows this trusted input, we don't have any problem. However, it's the other way around. We want to know the untrusted input, but the attacker will not let us know, and that is why we are calling it secret. So we are mapping this model onto the previous model, and by measuring this, we can measure the contamination, or even better, by measuring this. This is the conditional conditional mutual information. So there are various terms in information theory. There is only one book till date, that is Thomas Cover. You can go and read only 8 pages, not more than that. Please do that. Chapter 2, 8 pages, only 8 pages. And these all concepts will be clear to you. So leakage is this formula and integrity is this formula. So we can say that leakage and integrity are information flow duals. So using the same system, we can also measure the integrity loss. Availability. You all know these 2 definitions, right? You know it or not? Mean time to failure divided by mean time to failure plus mean time to repair, or uptime. Sorry, this must be equal to uptime divided by uptime plus downtime. This is what is the reliability of the system. I am arguing a different thing. I am arguing that suppression can also be thought of as attack on availability. If your system is working fine, but I can suppress all the trusted input. So in the trusted output, what you have is untrusted input, which is of no use. So it is as good as having no output. The junk is, if you get junk as output, it is as good as having no output or system not working. हम कहते हैं ना कि इतना बुरा काम किया, इससे तो ना करता अच्छा था. Exactly that we are discussing, right? So I will just take 1 more minute. I'm trying to just be fast. In this demo, I'll tell you about the tools that I have worked on. We have a tool called CHIMP, that is Checkable Imperative Language, which was available to me. And during my stay at University of Birmingham, I have extended this tool and I have given it a name of CHIMPIC, that is CHIMP for Integrity Quantification. Using this, what I have shown is, okay, see, I've shown you the dialing cryptographer's problem, right? This is the confidentiality model. So this is our own language, which is CHIMP. These are our own annotations, new, secret, and for public we are using observe, right? So these are secret and public. If we go and check the leakage using this tool, the leakage is how much? Can you see? Can you read the last line? What is the leakage? It means it does not leak anything. Okay? So confidentiality is intact. It's a good algorithm. The anonymity is not broken. Now, I'm just changing it a bit. I've just changed one line. Can you read this? Internal attacker. He is lying about the coin. If he is pair and if the announcement is 0, he is announcing 1. In this line, right? So it is an internal attacker. I have checked this and confidentiality is still intact. What about integrity? So using my CHIMP tool, I love the name because my guide was in love with monkeys. So they are called chimps, right? And that's why he named CHIMP, and I could not find a better name, and I did not want to offend him by changing the name itself. That's why I just extended it, and we Indians are great in that, you know. So I am modifying. So what we are doing is we are converting it into a Markovian chain file and then calculating whole probability and everything. So if the integrity, so presently the integrity measure is contamination, right? Let's see how much it is. What about the suppression? It's again 1 bit. What does this show? The information leakage. So our 3 research questions have been answered. How can we do this? By using any QIF tool. How can we do this? By extending any QIF tool, or vice versa. And how can we measure availability? By measuring suppression. The most important result that you must remember out of the whole security thing, that is why we study confidentiality, integrity and availability. Why don't we study only security? Is this. This graph tells you everything. This graph tells you that if there is an internal attacker, anonymity is still intact. The confidentiality is intact, but the integrity has been broken. This proves that secrecy is different from correctness. So I will let you retain your secrecy, still I can attack on the correctness of the system and I can break the security. So this is one important takeaway from this whole thing, that you must understand the different models and you must try to or learn to distinguish between all these basic concepts. I mean, everybody knows what is confidentiality, integrity and availability, but their coexistence is more important. It's not either or, it's and between them, confidentiality and integrity and availability. So that's it. If you've got any questions, anyone? Finally, one thing, one of the purpose or as I was discussing with Preeti Mehta ma'am, if anybody is interested in working on these concepts or any security concept, want to have a research or want to publish a paper, anything, I mean, you can get in touch with Mehta ma'am and come to me, right? We can work on a conference paper, we can work on small real problem. It depends on what you want to do, whether the active you want to learn active security tools or you want to do some theoretical adjustment. If you want to develop a tool, like the tool that I gave you the glimpse of is written in OCaml, and we have developed our own compiler. So that's totally a different area. So whichever area, if you are interested and if I am comfortable with that, so we can talk about it and we can work on those areas. I would love to have some students from MCA final year. Any questions? It's lunchtime, right? Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much.